Yo guys, welcome back. All kinds of random stuff going on this week. I've got belts to replace. We're gonna pull that downpipe off, get it wrapped, do some heat management. Also, hopefully swap out these motor mounts to something a little bit more sturdy. As you saw, we've got a ton of engine movement going on. Also, I'm gonna redo the exhaust hangers as that was moving around a ton. Essentially just whatever I can do, odds and ends here and there to make the car run a little bit nicer, a little bit better, a little bit more reliably. Let's get to work. So what I've done here already is I've pulled off this motor mount and pretty much sits like this in the car and holds the engine in. As you guys saw previously, this one is pretty loosey-goosey, so I'm actually replacing these. With some poly mounts from ISR. One thing I want to do first though is you need to measure the thickness of the original mount and compare it to the thickness of the ISR mount. Just make sure that they're the same. And it looks, actually that's not the right measurement. We got plenty of adjustment here. And that ought to be good, as I actually wouldn't mind gaining a little bit of space there to tilt the engine and actually help with that. I think we're going to go as is on this side. I think if you learn one thing from this episode, it's do this stuff before the turbo's on, before the oil line's plumbed, before everything's in the way. Do it before the goddamn engine's in the car. Alright, new motor mounts in! Yeah! And then it might be hard to see, but because I went with all 4 spacers on the driver's side and only 3 spacers on the passenger side, I was also able to gain a little clearance from the downpipe coming off the steering shaft. Any little bit helps in there. Up next, this car is so loud. The solution, we got this nice 3-inch straight pipe coming through the bottom of the car. The vibrant, ultra quiet Resonator muffler mid-pipe doodad, fantastic extraordinaire. If we look inside there, you can see all that baffling straight through. Should not affect performance, but oh man, I hope it sure quiets this thing down. Plan: measure this, cut, weld, put it back. Alright, so I think we're just going to call this episode right here. Finished up the engine mount, finished up the power steering, belt, also hacked together that exhaust, and I must have just gotten the measurements wrong or just did a bad cut or something, because for whatever reason it's just not looking great all bolted together here. So here's the downpipe come down along, there's the resonator, and then out the back. Two immediate issues here is that when everything's bolted together, the downpipe is now, it's clearing the steering system, but it's now banging into the transmission. Second issue is back here, where these tips are now hard against the bumper like that. And then finally underneath the car, just the whole system itself is hanging a little bit too low, and I'm worried that there's too much stress on the different bends and welds and whatnot. So I'm not sure what the solution is here, but I have a feeling it's going to involve taking the whole thing apart again and cutting it up and re-welding to fit a little bit better. So as always, thanks again for watching. Like, share, subscribe if you're inclined, and we'll catch up with you next time.